Our sources tell us that it was the Lieutenant Governor who had signed off on this arrest. Many people seeing it as yet another twist in the standoff between Arvind Kejriwal and Najib Jung.
Well, I mean, it is definitely, it has very, severe political connotations because as the Home Ministry or the centre has been making it stand very, very clear that law and order or land and police and public order are issues in which the state government has no right. It is the LG who controls it and decides, and it is the centre through the LG, that takes a call in this, and therefore, while the Home Ministry might be saying, saying that this is a legal issue, the Delhi police has acted on its own, it has gone ahead and done what it thinks best. It cannot really, say that, the centre is not involved, because the LG acts or the LG's decisions are in largely through advice from the Ministry of Home Affairs and from the centre. So thereby, the centre still remains in focus, and we all know the acrimony, the bitter acrimony that was there between the LG, the centre on one side, and the Aam Aadmi Party on the other. And we also know for a fact that the centre was feeling the heat with the Aam Aadmi Party taking its battle straight up to the Prime Minister's door, trying to draw him into the controversy, forcing then the centre to come out with the notification clarifying the powers of the CM and the LG. So all this, the arrest, will have this backdrop. The background to this is that, and therefore, no matter how much the centre wants to withdraw, the Home Ministry wants to distance itself, it will still be in focus. Maya.
Right, Sudhiranjan, thanks for that update as well. As we said, we have been tracking this story and the arrest of the Law Minister in Delhi. Sonal Mehrotra now with us. Sonal, as Shruti pointed out, there are huge political ramifications for what's happened. We've also heard other Aam Aadmi Party leaders come out and demand the arrest of other senior ministers, including Smriti Irani, the HRD minister, who's had similar charges leveled against her. How seriously is the Aam Aadmi Party going to push for that? There have been many statements from there about how this is a political vendetta.
Well, the Aam Aadmi Party is going to go all out, Maya, over this issue, if not just politically, if not just in the courts, but even on the streets. You will see in the coming days more and more protests coming out because of this issue. And Aam Aadmi Party goes on to show, they're going to say, they're going to use this as the precedent to say that this is how the centre has been going out after them. Arrest of a law minister without any notice, without any prior check on them. They are going to say that there are several rules flouted in order to actually arrest the law minister without any notice. What Aam Aadmi Party has done is they've come out with an affidavit which shows that that Mr. Jitender Singh Tomar, the law minister, was on the right side of the law. What the FIR, which was filed by the Bar Council, which talked about a particular roll number missing from the diaries of that particular university. The defense that Mr. Jitender Singh Tomar has been giving so far is that that number itself is wrong, and he got that reply as in file of an once he filed an RTI over this issue. And what he has been saying at this point is very clear, that the court date was due in August. That's when he would go ahead and give his side of the story to the court. But before the court could even hear this matter, the Delhi police went ahead and arrested him. What they're saying is that he was sitting in his Srinagar office in the morning, addressing some people from his constituency, talking to them, when about 30 to 40 police personnel stepped into his office, said, and at the behest of taking some papers which were to be picked up from his house, they took him directly to Hoskas police station. From there, he was then transferred to Vasant Vihar, and from there, he is likely to be taken to Saket court very shortly now. So while all this is developing, Aam Aadmi Party is in an emergency meeting here in Delhi Secretariat. The Chief Minister is here, the Deputy Chief Minister, after addressing the media in this very, very aggressive speech, going on to say that, is Jitender Singh Tomar a terrorist? Has he looted somebody? Has he gone out to commit a murder? Why is it that in all of a sudden this has been done, that his arrest has been done without any prior notice? They're also saying it's a constitutional post, of due procedure should have been followed, which has totally been neglected. They're also pointing out that how is it that the police chief, who is supposed to be in charge of this all, is completely, not in the know of the matter. We have a police bite, a bite from the police chief, who goes on to say that he's not in the know of the matter at all. So all these things are now being picked up, but as they pursue this issue, Maya, they have also gone ahead to send Mr. Meena back to the ranks of Delhi police. Now, what is that issue all about? In that, very categorically, yesterday, remember, in a late night development, the Delhi Lieutenant Governor appointed his own select officer as the head of the Anti-Corruption Bureau. Now, this morning, the Aam Aadmi Party government has sent a letter back. The Vigilance Department has sent a letter back saying that a post of a joint commissioner does not exist. There is just one person who's heading it, and that position is filled. So, and there was vacancy only for inspectors, and thus he's not required.
Okay, Sonal, right. Thanks a lot. That's a separate issue that Sonal has also indeed raised, the issue of the positions at the Anti-Corruption Bureau, which has been a big battle between the Delhi Chief Minister, the Lieutenant Governor, and indeed the centre, where there has been court proceedings over these appointments as well. Now, Lieutenant Governor Najib Jung, who appointed his own candidate as head of Delhi's Anti-Corruption Bureau 6 days after the Arvind Kejriwal government appointed police officers from Bihar to that body. As Sonal pointed out, the Commissioner M.K. Meena will head the ACB and replace the candidate handpicked by the Aam Aadmi Party's Arvind Kejriwal. And also, ironically, Mr. Kejriwal was seen exchanging pleasantries with the Lieutenant Governor just hours earlier at an event at Rashtrapati Bhavan. Right, Sonal, so that appointment you were talking about, which has been now revoked in a sense that, the idea of every single instance of appointments, of bureaucratic appointments, of police appointments that are becoming a part of this controversy, the question really on every Delhi voter's mind is, when is it all going to end?
Well, that's the question everybody's been grappling over, that when is it, this entire controversy, this tu-tu meme, so-called, if you want to call it the game of one-upmanship, really is going to end. The issue at hand currently are two. One, the arrest of the law minister, and second, like you said, about the ACB appointments. Now, what the Aam Aadmi Party is saying is, at this point, is that under the Anti-Corruption Bureau, there is one position, which is the head position, which is to be headed by an officer of DCP rank or an additional CP rank. Under them, there are several inspectors. There have been posts vacant for inspectors so far, for which the Delhi government, the Delhi police hadn't been able to fill in, for which they asked for help from several governments as well. Now they're saying that instead of filling up those posts, they have gone ahead to appoint someone over and above Mr. Yadav, who was, seen to be close to the Delhi government, also seemed to be somebody who was non-controversial. But then what they're saying is Mr. Meena, who was somebody who was actually responsible in that entire Jitender episode, somebody who went out, who was taking care of this of that entire matter, and had gone ahead to say that Aam Aadmi Party volunteers and workers were in fact responsible for provoking Jitender to actually take the extreme step. He also said they got in the way of Delhi government trying to save him. So in that backdrop, him being appointed as the ACB chief was seen as Aam Aadmi Party, the Delhi government, Lieutenant Governor, taking away the powers of ACB from Delhi government, which they haven't, taken lying down.
Thanks very much for joining us. With all that, the story of the Aam Aadmi Party continues to be in the headlines with another turn today in the arrest of the Law Minister of Delhi as well over charges of fake degrees that he claims to have got from university.